Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well here on our Monday evening, right? It has been a week already. This week, I have some crazy things happening in my world. It is parent-teacher conferences tonight. So that was on top of a full day of work, and this week, my school, we've been hybrid, and this week we went all virtual for the week due to some rising cases and whatnot. So just to play it extra safe, we went all virtual. That was kind of fun to go back to virtual. I was enjoying sort of figuring out some lessons about how to do that the best you could do it last year, and that was kind of fun to try my hand at that for lesson plans this week, and excited about that. Excited how you're all doing. I'm curious if you can sound off and see who's all here. We have Rochelle's here. Awesome to see you. Thanks for stopping by. That's awesome. Carrie made it back. Love it. Hope things are going good for you. Jennifer Knox, good evening. Hope all is well. While we're all here, let's try to hit today's light goal, because, man, do I need a confetti party. I do. It'd be awesome if we got to our light goal. So we're at 9 already. We have a little confetti party if we get to 10, and 15, and would love that if we do that. Amanda Gray's here. Love having you here. It is a good Monday. Leah has to step out. See ya, Leah. I think I saw a few students made their way in here. Addie Witt here. Happy to have you here, Addie. Whoa, we are at 16 already. That's like a speed record. It's 9:02, 2 minutes in, and we are going to get our light goal party here. Boom. We reached our light goal. A little confetti. Dig it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight to sort of talk a little bit about parent-teacher conferences. That's going to be our topic tonight. And I couldn't be more excited to have these ideas shared with you guys. I'll share some ideas, but I'd love to hear from all of you, what you're doing, how you're doing it, whatnot. Let's see here. Natalie's here from Mexico City. Love to know what you guys do for parent-teacher conferences. Adam Marino making it back here from way up in northern Wisconsin. Painting. Woo. It's only Monday and I'm already tired. I'm telling you, like I said, today was quite a day. Look at all this confetti party. We're already having a good time here on Teacher's Table. And I love that we have students here with your mom again. That's awesome. Emma and her mom, we did a game night the other night, and some of you made it, and these two made it. That was awesome. Mini dance party. I dig it. Woo! Kyle making it. This is late for you guys, East Coasters. Best part of my day. I'm with you, Carrie. Let's see. It's been a long week today. Kyle, I'm digging it. I like the emoji too on that one. Ainsley here also. Good vibes. I agree. My daughter has a poster in her bedroom that says "Good vibes only." I like it. So let me walk you through a little bit of what's going on in my world, just to sort of set the stage. So we have parent-teacher conferences, like I said. And as you know, or maybe you don't know, we're in the midst of a global pandemic. And that global pandemic has obviously changed how much people can kind of come into the school. How we used to run, or how we usually always run parent-teacher conferences in our middle school is parents come in, and we usually do it over 3 different nights. Actually 2 nights and usually 1 like whole day. And parents come in and they have 5 minutes with every teacher that they want to see, and you kind of leave a couple seats out in front of your classroom, and you kind of see through the window when more people are queued up, and you kind of wrap up this conversation, come in the next one and the next one, and you have these 5-minute conversations. And obviously we can't have that many people on campus this year, so we decided to do it virtual. Ooh, Thomas is here. This excites me. We got Mexico, we got Germany, we got East Coast, we got Central Standard Time. We's all over the place today. Welcome, Thomas. We're talking parent-teacher conferences. So this year, what we did is instead of that, we're going to obviously do it digitally through some Zoom meetings. But that obviously causes some changes here. You can't obviously jump from Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting and have 5-minute meetings. So what we decided to do is to do it by advisory group. So I'm meeting with all of my advisees. So for example, Emma and Emma's mom, I will be meeting with you, I think Wednesday. I think that's the day we meet, and looking forward to that conference. And these conferences, instead of 5 minutes, they're going to be 15 minutes. And what we did as teachers is, well, now I obviously have to speak about math, and I have to speak about English, and I have to speak about science and foreign language, all these things that I'm not the teacher for. So this was kind of a head scratcher for us. Like, how are we going to be able to speak with confidence and make sure we're giving accurate information? We just wrote comments for all of our students, probably like maybe 2 weeks ago they got those. But the problem with using those for parent-teacher conferences, obviously the parents have that. So me speaking directly to that doesn't really help. And also, to be able to write conference comments for all of our students, you almost have to start writing those 2 weeks before the parents get them. So really that information is like a month old. That's not what I really want to spend my time talking about. So what we did as a team, and I think worked really well, and that's why I want to share it with you guys. We made a Google spreadsheet, of course, that I absolutely love. And what we did is we put all the 6th grade students in there. We broke them down by advisor, and you went through and you put sort of very brief, like these weren't paragraph comments, just a few bullet points, things you wanted to communicate. And then you also color coded the boxes, sort of different colors, so that we could quickly at a glance see how a kid's doing in all the classes. And in there could be a brief message that, we would have to send or confer with the parents. And tonight was our first night doing it. I had, 7 conferences tonight, and it worked really well. I mean, I was able to look across those and kind of really get a general idea, where the area of concerns were and communicate that. And I felt pretty comfortable delivering somebody else's message. And then obviously knowing all the students pretty well from my own class, you could kind of interpret some of the concerns, right? If somebody's not participating in the English class and they're not participating in your class, you can kind of speak to that on a more personal note. Or, if their homework seems rushed in, math class, and their homework seems rushed in English, and their homework seems rushed in your class, you're able to kind of communicate that. And if they're doing well across the board, you can kind of talk about how they're doing well in your class, and obviously kind of do a bit of assumption on the others, but also have this data that's in front of you, which really helped, and it was slick. It didn't take long for us to sort of put this information together. And then because we broke it down by advisors, now I'm going to kind of nerd out because I'm a nerd. I'm just going to own that. I'm a nerd, and I like spreadsheets. So because we, on the main sheet, broke it down by advisor, we were able to have separate tabs that we then could display just our advisees. So I am only looking at I have 14 advisees. So I'm only looking at the 14 information about my advisees when I'm having these conferences. And our conferences lasted 15 minutes. That was a big spiel. Let's see if anybody has anything to say about that. Let's see here. Going back up to Thomas. Let's see. Jennifer says, Mr. Matera, we never do mass conferences, only when requested. Usually if a student is struggling. So we do like parent-teacher conferences for everybody. And I don't know. I like it. I think it's a really big touch point for parents. I think our students do a tremendous amount of work for us. And I think it's important that we not only highlight to parents some of the struggling points, but also, the hard work, the good work that's being done every day by students. So to be honest, by and large, a lot of my conferences are good conferences, and I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world, because that's the kind of stuff that sadly not enough of us take the time to tell people they're doing good, right? Like we say how, teaching in general can be a thankless job. Well, so can being a student, right? Like they just do a ton of work, and it's not always recognized over and above just the grade they get or the score they get. And I love conferences because it puts me in contact with their parents, and it gives me a chance to make sure I'm slowing down, make sure I'm taking the time to give parents that view. That's helpful. And then also, like a whole nother note, it gives you that ability to have a little parent ed, as somebody who has taught 11 and 12-year-olds for the last 13 years. I've taught well over 1,000 11 and 12-year-olds. I know that area really well, so I can give parents some confidence in terms of their kids' trajectory. Like, are they doing well? Are they headed where they're supposed to be for an 11 or 12-year-old? And I gotta tell you, it means so much to me when I meet with my daughter's teacher, because I don't know the first thing about fourth graders. Like, that's not my area of expertise. So when her teacher tells me that she's headed in that right direction, that, yeah, here are some areas she can work, but I don't get all nervous about those areas. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's failing in those areas. It's just advice. And you're able to hear from that teacher and take that advice with their expertise in that particular age group. And she can kind of tell you if something is a real concern and something we really should tackle, or if we're talking about polishing that good to great kind of situation. And so many of my students happen to be in that situation where we are talking about, this is just really good feedback, like not something we have to defend, not something we have to say, why didn't I hear this before? This is just a good, solid moment. I mean, I teach 6th grade. This is the time to challenge yourself. This is the time to see if you can turn it up a little bit and what happens. And if you sort of fall apart, it's 6th grade. We're there to catch you. But at the same time, we're also there to sort of push you out the nest a little bit. And that's true for parents, and that's true also for students. And I know my whole team feels that sort of same way. And when you're operating in a space like that, that's fantastic. Jennifer, that was way longer a response than you probably wanted. So let's move on, see what else we got. Kyle, our district is full remote. We have virtual conferences that are scheduled for Fridays, followed by a follow-up form in case we missed anything. Ours are by homeroom, so similar. That's awesome. I dig that. I kind of like that follow-up form. I've been scheduling Zoom conferences with parents. That's great. I've been doing some phone calls. Last week I tried to make some phone calls because I wasn't going to be able to see everybody because we're doing it by homeroom. So I was calling some others, and then I decided I should also call some of my advisees because, again, they deserve to hear that too. So I tried to make some calls, and I think I've suggested this on Teacher's Table. I tried to also call as many dads as I did trying to call as many moms. That's always fun. Let's see. Amanda, we had parent-teacher conferences a few weeks ago. They were completely virtual with parents as a choice of meeting with related art teachers. I had a solid 6 hour of prep. Sigh. I will say it took a lot to get ready for these conferences, but I do think they really went off well. And like I said, it is a really good space to chit chat with the parents and the students. Sometimes have shown up. That's been fun too. Let's see. Jamie, they moved our conferences to January. It's an interesting idea. I'm curious why that shift. What was their idea with that? For us, we actually only give students grades at semester end. So I kind of like them right now because we are kind of finished with one quarter. And so the advice you're giving parents, you can kind of do it, both parents and students, you can do it in a non-threatening way because truly there is enough time. There is enough work that's about to be in front of them that truly they can make any grade they want. So, if a parent's concerned that like, oh, I wish you would have told me that they're doing this bad or whatever, the reality is this is a good time to tell you. We had a great opportunity to see what your child did, how they responded to the feedback. I have been in constant communication with the student, and this is where we're at. And if you feel like you want to step in, now is an okay time to step in. I didn't want you to step in before. So, but at the same time, they don't have to worry about that grade or anything because we have enough time to change it. So I really like how our school does that. And that was kind of a recent change. Probably only the last 2 years has been that way. Let's see, Thomas, I love it. So far, the whole of Germany is in lockdown, meaning that teacher-parent conferences will still be in person. Whoa, wow. We don't Yep. Nope. Don't have that. I'm going to pretend that I typed out the above actually made sense. That's awesome. That is awesome. I love it. Jamie, I love it. Nerds Unite. I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm proud with it. Let's see. Rochelle, spreadsheets are awesome. I think we should. I'm nervous now. Do I say it? Like, I almost feel like we should do a teacher's table or two on just the sweetness that is Google Spreadsheets. Gary, sometimes I get caught up in the chat that I forget that Mr. Matera is talking. Happens a lot. Definitely. Addie Witt, this comment is just beautiful. I almost think we should do a confetti party over this. Spreadsheets are life. I dig that. Let's see. Yeah, I agree, right? That opportunity to kind of connect and meet with parents has been really nice. I liked kind of the Zoom meeting having that 15 minutes instead of having just that 5. It's nice, especially when parents are willing to sort of talk a little bit about their experience too, which is what I want to hear about as well. So I mean, make sure you talk about the child as well and how they're going, but I also like making that connection. No, Carrie. I'm telling you, we got to fix this about you guys. Ms. Patera, I agree. Our district has a procedure where we can send a message when their child did something great. I take advantage of it. Awesome. We do that too. We do Way to Go Wildcats. I've definitely been writing those as well. But I don't want to discourage that. That's awesome. You should continue to use that. I should continue to use that. However, I love the phone call. I mean, I feel like the phone call is starting to be like the letter, right? You know, like how people say if you take time to actually like handwrite a letter, that's amazing. And it still is, don't get me wrong. But email has so taken over conversation space that when somebody actually takes a moment to like look somebody's number up, gives them a call, tries to make connection and send that message, I think that's another super personal touch, and I like it. I love that your daughter is in 4th grade. Yeah, that's your space, right? That is like the thing you know so well. I'd love to chit chat with you, get some advice from you on that. Unfortunately, as an arts teacher, a conference with me was optional since I didn't grade and the students were amazing. Most parents didn't stop by. That's tough. I mean, I'm not an arts teacher, so more parents definitely stop by my class. I will say sometimes I get some parents that don't see the same value in the liberal arts experience, so they don't put a whole lot of stock in world history. I've had some parents over my 13 years like kind of blow it off or make comments like, it's okay, they're not doing well in your class, it doesn't matter. I've had that said to me, you know. Or like a parent say like they actively don't tell their kid to study in my class because really it's just math and English that counts. Definitely a horrible message. And I have to say that those have been very rare in my career. So I'm really excited that I do work at a place where most of the families truly see the value of that liberal arts experience. In fact, I think that's why they send their kids there, so that they have a drama class, that they have an art class, that they have a PE class, that they have a history class. But that's the way it is sometimes. Oh, Emma, your dad's here now. Dig it. Don't know if you're still there, but hello. See you Wednesday. Let's see. Guess my school is the only one that made teachers meet parents in person. I mean, there's a piece of me that would love that. Like I said, it's one of my favorite sort of extras we do. Obviously, I love the teaching part of it, but parent-teacher conferences is something I tend to really like. The one thing that I dread about parent-teacher conferences, and I'm curious if you guys would sound off in the chat over there, is if this happens to you. For me, no matter what, right? there is absolutely no way to please everyone because you have different style learning. We have different style parenting. In fact, also school's just so different from when we went to school. And if you're not part of a school system that's growing and changing with that, you're obviously, sometimes parents are going to have a different view of how school should be. So I'm curious if you guys experience this, where like the one thing I don't like about parent-teacher conferences is I can have 70 awesome conferences. I can have 70 like, your class is amazing, life-changing, my kid loves it. I can have 70 of those. And then you just have that one that tells you that mean comment, that tells you that like, this is junk or this is garbage or whatever. And that's all you can think about, you know, and it's unfortunate that our mind, or my mind, does that. I just fixate on that one bad, you know, comment, even though I know in reality there is no way to please absolutely everybody. And in fact, if you were pleasing absolutely everyone, I don't know if you're actually meeting the mark of the students, because, you know, like, we have to sort of push the students. We have to sometimes put them in an uncomfortable situation. And as parents, we're built to keep our students from uncomfortable, or keep our children from uncomfortable situations. But as teachers, we're asking them to do some things that sometimes are uncomfortable. Sometimes they think it's out of their reach. And it's only by doing it, by putting them in that struggle, that they realize it is not out of reach, that it is actually in reach, and they grow and they're stronger. But these are at odds, right? Parents want their kids to be happy and healthy and safe. Teachers want to get the best out of those kids, and we see the time we have with them as like a program, right? Like, and I have 180 days to transform these kids' lives, or at very least transform it enough to sort of pass that baton to the next person that's going to help transform them. And over the course of the 12 years in a K-12 education, they're going to become somebody of great value. They already are somebody of great value, and we're just increasing that value, right? But like I said, I tend to fixate on that one. I'm curious what you guys think. Don's here. I am so sorry I haven't seen you in the comment yet, Don. Glad to have you here talking parent-teacher conferences. Love it. Oh, let's see here. Jamie responding here to, we moved to January because we were right in the middle of a transition from all virtual to AM, PM schedule. It was a weird decision. That's probably good. Maybe actually meeting with the parents, though, could have smoothed that out. I'm down to nerd out about spreadsheets. All right. I mean, careful what you wish for. We just might have a whole thing on it. Don loves the spreadsheets, too. Thomas says spreadsheets are magic. Loving it. All right, I got to jump down to the bottom here and see what you guys responded to. Let's see. We got Candace saying, totally the same. The negative one ruins everything. Yeah, it really does. And again, we're all here trying to do the best we can for our students. And so it really hurts. It cuts deep, right? And I gotta say too, on that note, Candace, the things that make the parents say that typically are when we're challenging their child, and it's not easy to challenge the child. I mean, just like the parent, I am a parent. My job would be a lot easier, just give everybody A's and say everybody's doing great, everybody's amazing. It's actually harder to deliver the message like, here's what you need to tweak. It's harder to give the feedback like, you're doing well, but you need to look at X, Y, Z. It's harder to say you're not doing well and you really need to make some changes. And in sixth grade, sometimes that is a new space for these kids and for the parents. So we understand when they don't take it well, but it still hurts a little bit. Let's see what Carrie says. Yep, I was told my arts integration was busy work. Yeah. Adam, I gotta tell you, I had a parent once tell me that purpose-driven learning was just a waste of time, and if my class was just more traditional and only focused on reading history and assessing history, that their child would be doing great. So I disagree, and I was even careful not to use the words like I agree to disagree. Like, I just disagree. But challenging. Ainsley, what does Ainsley say? Don't listen to those parents that say your class sucks because I love your class. Well, thank you, Ainsley. I appreciate that. Love having you in there. I know exactly what you mean. There are some conversations that feel like rocks in your stomach. That is a good way to say it. Thanks, Thomas. Kyle, I try to speak on a personal level first and foremost when I get attacked. I know it's not me, and it is impossible to meet them all. I remind parents of kindness, compassion while giving feedback. Definitely a good bit of advice. I will say, since having a daughter of my own, like it's helpful. It's helped me understand more the perspective of a parent and kind of how they may interpret what you say. So that was a big help, and it kind of starts with that compassion. Jamie, I fixate on the negative ones too. I am way too hard on myself. I can't sleep. I start doing visualization techniques when I start going down the negative train. Yeah, it's tough. It can be really, really hard when parents take that stance. And I'm sort of elated that I'm not the only one that fixates on that, but so much truth here. It's so true. What does Don say? We had some conferences in persona and some virtual up to parents and teachers. That's interesting. We didn't really give that choice, and I'm kind of glad we didn't. I just think it was cleaner to just say it was one way. Whatever that way would be, it was just kind of cleaner. So I kind of like that we did that. Jamie, when I replay the negative comment in my head, I imagine one big old stop sign. Eventually, I start thinking about other things. It's my own weird thing. I like that. Definitely, I think, if you have your team's phone numbers and whatnot, we definitely try to support each other in those moments and just kind of, we don't say anything that's confidential, but we definitely sort of say like, oof, I had a tough one. And, definitely some people try to, support each other, especially this year. This is the hardest year I've ever taught, right? Making new lessons, staying up till like midnight 1 to redo lessons or grade kids' work, super challenging. And at the same time, I'm not just trying to get it done. I'm still always focused on trying to do it well for my students, trying to make an experience for my students. I want to make memorable moments because I think when you make those memorable moments, that's when you also make memories for students, right? They're powerful learning experiences. And when that's your goal each and every day, to sort of get criticized this year when you're working harder than ever, it's like, oh, rocks in the stomach, Thomas, rocks in the stomach. So I'm going to visualize that stop sign, Jamie, for sure. Let's see. Being upset about negative comments just shows how much we care. I know, it's true. It's true. But there is like an unhealthiness. We got to like make sure we got to balance those, I think. I'm with you, Don. I'm so with you. Thank you, Addie. I appreciate it. I really do. It means a lot. I think it's so great that some of you guys have come to this and you guys were at the game night the other night. That was so much fun. Can't wait to do that. I actually picked up 3. Now I'm up to 3. I think I tweeted earlier today that I picked up 2 new games to add to our Let's Play community. And since that tweet a few hours ago, I actually picked up a 3rd because I really want to make sure we have more games to play so that we can have a good time. Let's see, Jennifer, I try to find some connections with the angry parent. Most of the time, they're upset about other things in their life, not my class. At our campus, they call me the parent whisperer. I need you on speed dial then, so I can just sort of say, hey, I'm just for a moment here, I'm gonna have you talk to my colleague here, and then I'll just transfer them over to you. That would be awesome. But I hear you. I think that's a good bit of advice too. Try to ask them, what is it they're looking for? Really try to make them sort of articulate their needs, because a lot of times that's when it sort of breaks down into just more of a general frustration, or maybe that they're having difficulty in this parenting moment or in this transition, and then you can sort of lend some help and advice there. That sometimes sort of cracks it open in a good way. And that's awesome. Let's see. I've been called into many meetings to be the calming influence. That's fantastic. I am now. You have me wondering, like, what is it that we're all sort of known for? What is it, the thing that, Jamie would be called in for, Kyle would be called in for, Candace would be called in for? What would Emma and Ainsley be called in for? What would Addie be called in for? I'm just curious, Carrie, Adam, what would be the thing that we're all sort of known for? It's an interesting question. Well, guys, it is Kyle equals comedy. Love it. Kyle, hope you're enjoying that comment. Everybody, it is 9:30. I know we try to keep these to a half hour. I want to say thank you so much for being part of the Teachers Table community. And on that note too, if you want to check out the Teachers Table Facebook group and join that, we're growing each and every month. We just broke 700 this month and growing, and I'd love to have you part of that community where we can share out ideas, links to the articles we read, things that can really sort of keep us at the top of our game so that we can continue to give the most to our students and create those great experiences. So yeah. All right, let's see if we have any other comments here before we end. Emma, no, I love it. Love it. That's awesome. Don, I would be called to talk someone's ear off. That's fabulous. Addie, to be the what quote. That's awesome. Love it. That's fantastic, Addie. Laugh out loud. All right, so that's it, guys. I hope you have a good night. I will see you guys back here this coming Saturday morning. That'll be fun for some coffee time. And you guys take care. I'll see you later.